Hey, it's Catherine with resinobsession.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make resin candy heart pendants. So before you get started, obviously you're going to need a few things. I'm going to be using mold 403 today. It has a heart-shaped well in the mold. And then the other thing I'm going to be using for a mold is a dollar store find. This is a silicone ice cube tray mold. I'm always on the lookout for neat stuff at the dollar store, so we'll be using this today as well. I'm going to cast in both, and then you can see the similarities and differences between the two. You'll need a little bit of the Cast and Craft mold release. I've gone ahead and prepped both of these molds. It's really important with the plastic mold. The silicone mold, it might be a little overkill, but getting into the habit of using a good mold release is just great for prolonging the life of your molds. Now, what I've gone ahead and done too is I've got our little candies here, and I have sprayed the candies with our resin gloss sealer spray. Now, I know lots of other people make resin jewelry with candies, and I'll tell you why I use the spray. A few years ago when I made these, I found that months later the color started leaching out, or it actually started leaving a rim of brown between the candy and the resin. So from that point on, I just started sealing all my organic pieces that I use in resin to make sure that it lasts for as long as possible. So I've gone ahead and mixed up our resin. For the sake of time, I'll be using a clear resin today. And I'm just going to pour the resin into the mold, and then I'll add in the candy. Now, you'll just want to put in a little bit of resin at first, just kind of enough to cover your bottom. And you'll want to put in the resin first before the candy because you don't want to trap any air bubbles. And obviously how full you want to get it is up to you. And I'm going to do one over here as well. So put in a little bit of resin, and then I'm putting in the candy. Obviously you'll want to put the writing side down. And I like to put in my piece on edge and then push it in. The reason being is that I think it makes it a lot less likely that you're going to trap air bubbles. Now I'm going to use my stir stick to press down my piece, and then I can decide if I want to add a little more resin onto the back, or say for example if I knew I was going to pour another layer later with color in it, I would probably stop here. But at this point I'm going to go ahead and fill up just past the resin candy, and then I'll come back here in about 45 minutes and add my glitter. Hey, it's Catherine. I'm back. Our resin is cured, so let's go ahead and pop them out of the molds. So when you're taking your resin out of a silicone mold, it really should peel away pretty easily. So you're just going to kind of want to bend and pop out your resin piece. Might help for you to flip it over. And you just want to kind of twist and bend to pop them out. And in this case, because it's silicone, you can actually peel it off as well. So we'll take those out. Now the reusable plastic molds are a little different because you'll want to actually twist your mold and push from the back at the same time. So you kind of want to twist and push. And take that one out. Okay. So let's take a look at our finished castings that we came out. So these are the ones that came out of the ice cube tray silicone mold. You can see it's maybe a little cloudy on top, or I shouldn't say cloudy, but just more of a matte appearance to it. If you want to gloss this up, at this point what you can do is prop it up, say on a Resin Obsession drying mat, and coat it with another layer of resin. Or you could also use some more of that resin gloss sealer spray to give it a nice resin finish. This one with the reusable plastic mold, you can see came out a little brighter. It looks a little shinier. But you could do that as well if you wanted to coat it with another layer of resin or use the gloss sealer spray. Now check out your castings as well. If you've got some rough edges that you don't care for, you could sand them up with a coarse nail file if it's just a little bit, or you could also use a little bit of wet dry sandpaper. Make sure if you're going to use that though, you use it under water so that you minimize the amount of friction on your piece, and of course you don't want to inhale the resin dust. Now at this point, to finish up your pieces, you've got a couple different options as well. These are the Resin Obsession, these are the screw eyes. And what you'll do is you'll take your drill and you'll actually drill into the top, say like for example right here, and then you'll insert your screw eye right in there. I don't know that this would be my first choice because we've got so much clear, you're actually going to see the screw eye attachment. Probably my first choice here would be to use one of our Enricu bales. And these are great. You'll put a little E6000 here on the bale. You'll put a little E6000 on the corresponding spot on the back, and then you'll adhere the two together. Give them about 12 to 24 hours to completely cure, and that's what you'll look like when you're done. Or of course, it doesn't even have to be a pendant at all. You could use a little E6000 to glue on, say, a rare earth magnet, and you could have a beautiful decoration for your refrigerator or locker. So if you have any questions, leave them in the box below. We're happy to help you with your resin casting questions. If you get a minute, stop by our blog and jewelry making forum. We answer all sorts of questions and give technical advice on resin jewelry making. Happy casting and happy Valentine's Day.